Hi guys, this is Hero. And in my last video, I discussed the hardest obstacles when pursuing a spiritual life. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking to you about the easiest ways to maintain a spiritual life. Okay, and the way you do that, just the straight up answer, is to surround yourself with a spiritual community at least once a week and ideally in person. Okay, now I'm going to discuss why. So before I discuss why this is important, I want to explain that I did not say distance yourself from anybody who is not spiritual. Okay? In this life, you're going to have karmas with all kinds of people, not just super spiritual people. Okay? And that's part of awareness also. Okay? You can gain awareness in any place and with any people. Okay? Not just, only with people that are spiritual, or only at temples, or only at, religious gatherings and stuff like that. Okay. You can gain it at any point in time. And it's actually necessary to gain it at, other times besides conventional spiritual places if you really want to truly grow and, expand your spiritual wisdom, from an absolute level. Okay. Not just, from a conventional religious sense, which that is important too. Okay. That's why the answer was surround yourself by those kinds of people at least once a week. But it's important to notice that don't just automatically distance yourself from people just because they're not spiritual. Okay, A, you could have karmas with them, and B, there's definitely a lot to learn with everyone. And I'd honestly say if you're able to be aware and learn from non-spiritual communities, or your non-spiritual life as much as possible, you have a huge win. Okay, because like I said, awareness, it's not just something you do. It's not just something that you maintain when you're meditating or when you're doing some religious prayer or something like that. It's something that's a lifelong, it's a way of life. Okay, so if you're able to do that outside of conventional spiritual places, or not with conventional spiritual people, that's a huge win. Now, that being said, we all have egos and minds and other, obstacles in this modern day and age. Okay, so we get all kinds of distractions, and we have all kinds of ways to steer us all off our spiritual path. Okay, now it's important to be aware and do everything we can to stay on the genuine spiritual path as much as we feel necessary. So we have to, be a little bit more intuitive, expand our awareness so that we can guide ourselves throughout our life. But like I said, you can get thrown off that path very, very easily. Okay. And like I said, especially in this day and age, and also even more highly, there's a more higher percentage of getting thrown off that path, depending on where you live and the certain time periods astrologically you're running and stuff like this. And also depending on, your immediate friend circle, immediate family, all this kind of stuff. So you want to ideally find a spiritual community in person with that you can see once a week. Okay. Now, I understand not everyone has their dream temple right down the road with, all their friends going there and, stuff like that. Okay. And even I noticed a lot of people who do go to temple or church or something, they're not going there to gain the people who have fun going there, like actually like just messing around and stuff. They're not going there to learn. Okay, they're just going there to hang out. But I'm not knocking that. Okay, you're in that kind of environment for the most part. It's a plus. There's a lot worse things you can be doing. Okay, everyone's on their own path. Some people are just not meant to. Even if you take them to temple or something like that, some people are just not meant to. Gain awareness beyond a certain sense, okay, which is fine. But now, getting back to what I was saying, so you want to ideally find a spiritual community, okay, in person once a week. Now, let's just say you found your community and they're not in person, but you this is your community. That's completely fine. You found it. Don't worry about having it in person, okay? But if you don't have a community that you can somewhat connect with on a frequent basis, ideally once a week, or maybe like at least once a month, but ideally once a week, eventually, I'll try to look for something in your area first. Okay. Now I know there's all kinds of, rules in this day and age, as far as, just the current, environment we live in, but depending on where you live in the world. But I would try to find some place. Now, spirituality, I will say, now it's easier to connect with people part of your religion, right? So for me, I'm fortunate. You know, during a certain astrological time period, a guru came into my life, and his temple is about. Actually, I have two gurus, and their temple is about only 20 minutes away from my house. Okay, so it's great. I can go there whenever I want. I am guilty of not going once a week all the time. Okay, I will admit that flat out right now. Okay, um, I travel a lot, and just I don't really know anybody there, to be honest. And I do a lot of spiritual practices at home, and I keep in touch with them over the phone. Okay, but I should be going more. Okay, and I'm gonna try to make that like a new, like you could say, a New Year's resolution. I hate that word, but definitely that's something I want to try to improve. Me going once a week, especially since I have this opportunity, and I know a lot of people don't have this opportunity. Okay, having a guru or two gurus actually that they connect with at a temple that they also connect, that they feel good vibrations in, so close to their house. Okay, that's also part of their own religion that they were raised with. Okay, but now if you don't have this, you're gonna have to pick and choose some stuff. Okay. Now, obviously, you'll know when the right thing is, when the right place is, guru is, whatever. But uh, you may have to pick and choose as far as, okay. I'm not saying I recommend it. I personally recommend this, but if there's temples nearby and for some reason your ego is just you feel like maybe your ego is just getting in the way, like you're too good for this place or something like this, maybe you might want to give it another shot. Okay, I'm not in your personal situation. I don't know. There might be some personal things as for why you're not trying to go there, but I would go there. Okay, because the value of going to a place in person and kind of feeling those energies is unmatched. Okay, in my opinion. So go there. And like I said, there's not going to be any perfect place, any perfect guru. Just like there's no perfect relationship partner. There's no perfect parents, no perfect siblings, nothing like this. Nothing perfect. Okay. So if you feel like your ego is getting in the way, I'd consider giving it another shot and just saying, hey, look, this is what I was born with. Just like you're born with certain parents, siblings, whatever. This is what I was born with. Let me try giving it a shot. Okay. And also, one other thing to keep in mind that I will say is that spirituality, you could be spiritual regardless of what religion you are. Okay, you could be spiritual as a Hindu, you could be spiritual as a Buddhist, you could be spiritual as a Muslim, you could be spiritual as a Christian, you could be spiritual as any religion. Okay, if you connect with a place that what religion we are, I feel like that's an identity that our ego kind of that we kind of attach to from an ego level. Okay, but I wouldn't feel any shame if you live in an area where, let's just say you're a Hindu and there's no temple, and you would have to walk into a church or something like that, just to kind of surround yourself with people that are bettering themselves, from a higher consciousness level. Like I said, it all depends on your personal situation. Okay, I've never had to resort to this, but this is just a thought that came to my head. I'd consider it. I would consider it personally, okay? Because I personally believe, even though I practice mostly Hindu traditions, stuff like that, I personally believe that all religions say the absolute truth in some way or another. Okay, they just kind of all say it in different ways that resonate with different people, based on culture and mindset and background, stuff like that. But if you have no options of your own religion in your own area, I'd strongly recommend maybe just seeing. I'm not saying to convert religions, okay? If you don't want to, if you do, that's fine. Like I said, it's all kind of just a label, okay? I've read some Christian and Buddhist and Muslim texts, okay, just to expand on my own wisdom, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if you feel like you connect with some members in the community there, or you connect with that place, I would be fine. I mean, I wouldn't, if it was me personally and I was in that situation, I wouldn't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. Okay, it's just a judgment that society puts on us that if you're Hindu, you have to go to temple, you can't go to church or something like that. That's not true in my opinion. One last thing is, let's just say you don't have any religious place nearby, which is extremely rare, or you just don't feel comfortable. That's also valid. Going to a religious place of something that's not your religion. Then I would resort to some kind of online thing. Yeah, like I said, in person is better. You feel the vibrations, you get to talk to the people, but I know that might not always be an option. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the online, spiritual community. Like as far as like weekly meetups and stuff like that. The most extent to online stuff I do is post on YouTube. Okay, as far as like spiritual groups and stuff like that. But I'll try to, because it's online, I'll try to meet as frequently as possible, just to kind of stay connected to that energy. Okay, you'll still be engaging, and your mental energies will still be kind of in the same sync as the people you're doing prayers with online or meetups with online, and stuff like that. Okay. And you notice if you maintain this practice, you'll steer off the spiritual path a lot less, or you'll have a lot less chance of steering off versus if you don't do this. Okay. Because then it's basically just you against your own ego, and your ego is going to sometimes tempt you, okay, to come back to the material world. Versus if you have a community that kind of supports you, you'll have chances of feeling a little bit more accepted, and feel like there's other people doing the same stuff, and you'll feel more inspired to stay on that path. Okay, all around. So yeah, I think that covered everything. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, let me know. And until next time, talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching.